What's up, guys? It's Brent here. I am sitting on a very low bench, um, but out in nature, out by my gym, about to go in and work out. And I'm gonna talk to you today because this is episode 2 of Dating in Transition. So today, basically, just gonna talk about the basics. When I out myself, and why I've chosen that, and how I've outed myself over the course of my dating period, which hasn't been too much because a lot of potential dates didn't end up into a date or into the amount of dates at which point I would out myself. So, long story short, I haven't had to do it too much. So with that said, I have a 3-date rule. On or after the 3rd date, I will tell them. If we've made it to 3 dates, I'll out myself. There are exceptions to that, and that has happened, which I'll get into here in a minute. But as a rule of thumb, that's my deal, and that's because, like I just mentioned, a lot of times it doesn't go into 1 date even, and 1 date, talking to somebody doesn't always lead to a date. 1 date doesn't always lead to 2. 2 dates doesn't always lead to 3. So, if to me, if we're not getting sexual, if it's not going anywhere, that's really just not something I feel needs to be known. Now, if we get sexual, if things get serious, of course, like I said, there's exceptions, which I'll talk about, I will say, before that period. But that's my rule of thumb, and that's why. That's my rule of thumb. Now, situations where I had to out myself in my dating. So, how did I do it? Well, I was hooked up with a girl. A friend of mine hooked me up with a girl, and she was living in New York, so it was a long distance thing. So there was no dates, but we were talking for a little bit, and we would watch movies together. So that was kind of like a date. We'd have these video chats, whatever. So in that case, by the 3rd date, I did out myself to her. In this particular case, I'd known that she was bisexual. She had told me that prior, and I just, this was a long time ago, but I think I pretty much said, it's just, hey, I'm trans. I have something to tell you. That's how I started it. I have something I want to tell you, and this is something that you should know now. At this point, sorry, my allergies are so bad, and it's been making my eyes really itchy today. I should have taken allergy meds or some Benadryl. But anyway, with that, that's pretty much what I said. Again, this was a really long time ago. This was like back in 2014, so I don't remember exactly, but something along those lines. And she was cool with it. Kind of surprised by it, had some questions, but other than that, she was cool, didn't have a problem. Then my another girl in Canada, she knew because she met me in a group, and that group, it was an online chat room, and that group was for trans people, so she knew. My most recent girlfriend, she knew. I didn't know she knew. She had added me on Snapchat, and we were talking on Snapchat, and she knew that I, she knew that I was, because she followed me on YouTube first, and then she watched this video on YouTube, and I was saying, oh, add me on Snapchat, and so she added me on Snapchat, and she actually found my YouTube channel, because her ex is trans, and when they broke up, she was just trying to understand him better and understand the experience better, I guess. So she found me and added me on Snapchat. So she already knew. I didn't know she knew, though. So Oh, but eventually I did know. Did I know before I had to out myself? Yeah, I think I did, because I said to her, yes. I was like, oh, so you just randomly added me on Snapchat, trying to figure it out. And then that's when she's like, well, the truth is, blah, 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 I found you on YouTube. So she knew. And then this girl on OkCupid that I was going to go on a date with, and that never manifested, because I did out myself, and that's not her thing. She does not think that would work, but we are still Snapchat friends, and we do still talk on a daily basis, pretty much. I mean, I love her dog, she loves my dog, so we chat about that a lot. But anyway, this is an instance where I broke my 3-date rule, because this girl, met her on OkCupid, we were talking a little bit, and she has something going on with her eye, where when she was a baby, a piece of glass was dropped on her eye, and she's blind in one eye, and also it looks funny, she says. And she had asked me if I had a problem with that. So this was before a date, we were just talking, and and I said, no, I don't have a problem with that. And I felt that I should tell her my situation. I thought it was kind of her to say, oh, well, this might be something that he might have an issue with. Let me tell him before we go on a date. So I gave her the same courtesy, in which case she didn't feel that it was for her, which is fine. And a topic for another video where we will talk about is not wanting to date a trans person transphobic. That is video, so coming up. So if you want me to talk about anything particular about that, or have any commentary to add to that, that you want me to discuss, drop it down below. And that's it for today's episode of Dating in Transition. What do you think of the outside videos? I thought for this series, I would just do all the videos outside in nature. Just give you guys a little bit different scenery. What do you think? Leave a comment down below. Like the video if you like the video. Let me know what you think about the series. Are you interested in it? Is there anything you want me to talk about in particular? What do you think so far of the content? Drop your comments. Like the video if you like the video. Sub to me. If you haven't already, this is a series and this will be labeled. If you're only interested in this, I also am a personal trainer, and I post a lot about fitness and a lot of other nonsense in my transition. So yeah, that's that. See you guys. I'm gonna go in that way, hit the gym, hit the weights, and be safe, be healthy, be good.